What you know about retro ghetto? Collecting and playing retro. Lock into the retro ghetto.
Hi everybody and welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. So as you know, I recently finished my full Pal Wii U set. I completed all 162 games, not variants or anything like that. And the purpose of today's video is a simple one. I'm going to try and calculate exactly how much I paid for that full set of Pal Wii U games. At this moment in time, I still don't know the value myself. I've got them all written down individually and I'm going to add them up with you guys at the end of the video so we can come up with a full value price. You guys know that I'm a bargain hunter, right? So I'm hoping I managed to get this full set for less than £2 but as I say, we are going to find out together towards the end of the video. I'm also going to be taking a look at the most expensive games that I bought and also some of the biggest bargains. And that's where we're going to kick things off with the biggest bargains. And the first one I want to highlight is one of the most expensive games on the system, and that is Project Zero. This game at the moment is going anywhere from probably 120 to 150, 160-ish. At one point it was going more towards 200. I think the re-release of it on the Nintendo Switch brought it down slightly, but it's nowhere near as low as I paid for it. I paid £60. Even at the time, that was a bargain. It was probably going for in and around 100. I just played the waiting game. I had it as a save search on eBay. One day it popped up, buy it now, £60. Luckily, I was fastest finger first, and yeah, I managed to get this nice special edition of Project Zero for just £60. Another game that I want to highlight that I got very cheap was Devil's Third. Now this game is insanely expensive, particularly in America. In America, I believe this game is like $300–400 games, and it might be the most expensive game on the NTSC library. Whenever I watch fellow YouTubers that go for full American sets, such as Mr. Rightway, I know the guys over at Gaming Off the Grid, and there's quite a few people that own this game. I know they had to pay a lot for it, so they probably want to look away now. I paid £7 for this game. It's nowhere near as expensive currently in the UK. I think the PAL version at CX goes for something like £20, something like that. It's definitely a game which is on the rise. I think maybe because sometimes our transatlantic cousins do set a sort of precedent, and it does make people here want that game just because they see the videos on YouTube, etc. But yeah, you ain't going to find it for £7, but I would still pick this game up sooner rather than later. And of course, I have to talk about the two Pixel Hot games. Probably the two rarest and most expensive games in the PAL set. Finding Teddy 2 and the Shmup Collection. I didn't do anything particularly great to find these. It was no sort of backyard deal or stalking Facebook, Marketplace, eBay, anything like that. I just simply was lucky enough to see this as they were getting released. I just started thinking I was going to go for a full Wii U set when these were announced. So I thought, you know what, it's probably a good time to buy them. My only regret is that I didn't buy 2 copies of each, so I could sit on some and maybe flip them further down the line. But yeah, well, all in all, these probably cost me about 30 quid each. They're currently going for what, £200 each? And in the not too distant future, these games are going to cost hundreds and hundreds because, yeah, they're only going up, guys. It's a numbered game, what, 3,000 copies. If you do want a full set, I'd start there. And the last of the bargains I want to talk about is where it all began for me. So I had no real interest in buying a Wii U at this time. I wasn't an avid collector like I am now at that point. I didn't collect for multiple consoles. I was mostly just focused on the 16-bit systems, the Super Nintendo in particular. But I saw on Facebook Marketplace what I knew was an incredible deal. So it was a Nintendo Wii system for £35. I mean, this was, what, 3–4 years ago maybe now? So it was already an incredible deal. But not only that, it came with 4 first-party Nintendo games. Off the top of my head, I think they were Mario Kart, the Mario and Luigi version of Mario Brothers, Mario 3D Land, and I believe Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. I think so. So anyway, it was 4 first-party Nintendo games. I think it was those 4, and the console, £35. So I definitely started this journey off on a bargain, and yeah, you're not going to beat that. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we're going to be looking at the most expensive games. To be honest, some of these could have also found themselves on my biggest bargains list, ironically. The first one in particular, Scribblenauts Unmasked. This was one of the last games I picked up. Very hard to find. It's part of the PAL set because it was only released in Australian territories. So you are going to have to pay quite a bit of shipping on this one. Before shipping, this game roughly cost me £65–70. Because I think all in with shipping, it was like $100 which I think equates to about £80. But yeah, somewhere in that region. Either way, it's one of the most expensive games I had to buy. Another heavy hitter was Teslagrad. This was a £70 game. A lot more simple to pick this one up. It finally came to stock at CEX. I had my save search set up. Again, if you're going for a full Wii U set, make sure you're checking CEX for Teslagrad, another one which is only going upwards. And what at the time was my bargain of all bargains was a Hunter's Trophy Big Box Europa set. Now this comes with the shotgun accessory and everything like that. At the time, this was a very, very rare game to get hold of, arguably one of the hardest games in the Wii PAL set. I managed to get this for £120 shipped from France, so it was roughly £100 for the actual item itself. I think since then someone has discovered some new old stock, because quite a few of these have been popping up on eBay, but I'd still say £100 to £120 is a very good buy for the big bundle of that game. And viewers of the channel will know the most expensive game that I bought for this set was Phineas and Ferb. I paid £150. I had a lot of history with this game. I missed out on it a few times. A couple of times I could have bought it and didn't for lesser value than I ended up paying. But in the end, I just had to get it off the list. £150. I've seen a couple go for a little bit cheaper than that since, but in the grand scheme of things, I think £150 in the long run will look like a good deal. Right, okay, so let's get into the total that I spent, shall we? And what I would like to say firstly is that this took a lot of work. The reason being is, when I first set out on this journey, I had all best intentions, right? And every time I bought a game, I made a note of it on a piece of paper, and I had it factually written down exactly how much I spent, including postage, and then that kind of went out the window. So I reckon about 60% of this collection was documented at the time. In order for me to do this video and the remaining 40% of the games, what I had to do was scroll through email history, my CX purchase history, Facebook messages from Marketplace. Now that took a lot. There's a lot of Facebook Marketplace messages on my phone history, that's for sure. Also eBay history, of course. So yeah, combined with all those things, I managed to price together every single game. It took a lot of work. And what I'm going to do now, as I say, is add them all up and we're going to come up with that total. We might be here for a while.
I'm waiting.
Right, finally, I'm at the last one. I've resisted the urge to look at the number which keeps continuing down the screen. I have to keep carrying it over so I roughly know, but... Right, the grand total is £2,063. I said I wanted to be under £2,000, however, there's a big caveat to that. I'm relatively happy with 2,063. I mean, if you were to sell them all individually, it'd be worth a lot more than that. Let me know in the comments what you think a full set is worth currently in this climate. But, viewers of the channel will know, I've bought, I'd say probably more than half of these games via CEX. And anybody that's watched my charity shop hunting videos will know how I do that. I go and find these bargains from charity shops, I take them CEX, take their voucher credit, and then I use that to then buy the games that I want. In this case, it was to complete the Wii U set. So the vast majority of those games were purchased with CEX vouchers, sorry. So that total of 2,063 in reality is a lot less than that. I'd estimate £1,500, maybe even less. Obviously it's impossible for me to document that exactly, but I certainly haven't spent anywhere near £2,000 in terms of cash on this collection. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this. As I say, this video was as much for me as it was for you guys. I was just intrigued to know exactly how much it cost me to get this full set together. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Wii U journey. If there is anything else Wii U related you want to see, let me know. Obviously, I know a lot about the Wii U, so if you want to see the most expensive games, the games that you should be buying right now if you want to start a full set, or whether I think you should even bother doing it at all, just let me know. As always, play your games, keep it retro. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care.
Retro Ghetto.